Welcome to the Morning Download Podcast, your go-to resource for personal finance, economics, and market insights. In just 8 minutes a day, we provide valuable information to help you make better money decisions.
Hey there, early birds. Let's dive into the world of personal finance, economics, and markets. Guess what? Cryptocurrencies are making a comeback after a little quiet time. Yep, brace yourselves for a potential bull run. Exciting, right? Oh, and here's a cool fact for you. The Netherlands has just been crowned the best country to retire in. So if you're looking to kick back and enjoy your golden years, pack your bags and head over to the land of wooden shoes and windmills. Retirement bliss awaits. So it seems like Americans these days have a different mindset when it comes to their finances. According to a new report from Intuit, 3 out of 4 people in Gen Z would rather prioritize having a better quality of life than saving extra money. This is certainly a departure from the traditional saving rules that previous generations followed. In fact, the report suggests that the younger generation's approach to investing and personal finance is much softer compared to previous decades. Instead of saving for the future, they want to enjoy their money now, and it shows in the numbers. The personal saving rate has dropped to just 9% in 2023, a significant decrease from the average of 51% over the past decade. So why is this happening? Well, there are a few factors at play. For one, the rebound from the COVID-19 pandemic has led to pent-up demand. People didn't have many opportunities to spend during the pandemic, so now they're making up for lost time. Additionally, inflation is making it more difficult for people to save as the cost of goods and services continues to rise. But what about retirement? Well, it seems like people still have that goal in mind, but not everyone is on track. Only 53% of workers are said to be on the right track for retirement. And interestingly, early retirement is no longer as popular as it once was. Almost half of the working population plans to keep working past the age of 65. Shifting gears to some global news, there are a few headlines making waves. A partner at a Chinese tech investment fund sees the U.S. chip export ban as great news. Japan is also questioning Google for alleged antitrust violations in its search practices. And Apple supplier Foxconn is facing scrutiny in China. On the business front, there are 2 major mergers on the horizon. Chevron is acquiring Hess Corp in an all-stock deal worth a staggering $53 billion. Meanwhile, Swiss firm Roche is buying Televant Holdings for $1 billion. Finally, let's take a quick look at the U.S. economy. After a strong third quarter, it's expected that economic growth will slow down in the near future. So let's talk about stocks for a moment. Specifically, we're going to focus on General Motors, GM, and Ford Motor, who are set to report their third quarter earnings and future guidance this week. Now, this is happening in the midst of ongoing strikes and contract negotiations with the United Auto Workers Union. This quarter is pretty special because we haven't truly felt the impact of the strike just yet. It's kind of like a suspenseful moment, you know? Now, when it comes to what we should be on the lookout for, there are 2 options here. Bullish or bearish. If both GM and Ford meet expectations, there might be even more pressure on them. This could actually prove that they're able to afford more concessions while still making healthy profits. On the other hand, if both firms fail to meet expectations, well, brace yourselves because we might just witness a significant reduction in prices. Not the best situation, right? So, what do we expect to see? Well, GM is anticipated to report third quarter earnings of $1.88 per share before the bell rings on Tuesday. As for Ford, they're estimated to report earnings of 45 cents per share after the markets close on Thursday. Now, keep in mind that this report is being closely examined by investors, especially as things continue to worsen for the auto industry. The strike has even expanded to the Stellantis pickup truck plant in Michigan. So definitely a lot going on in the world of stocks right now. MicroStrategy, the biggest corporate holder of Bitcoin, has hit the jackpot as the coin continues to stay above the $30,000 mark. It's actually at its highest level since July, which is great news for them. Led by Michael Saylor, the company started buying Bitcoin over 3 years ago and currently has more than 158,000 BTCs. That's almost 14 times more than the next nearest institutional holder. And the best part? They're planning to buy even more. Clearly, they're still very bullish on the coin. But it hasn't always been smooth sailing for MicroStrategy. In 2022, they were actually in the red due to a sudden drop in BTC prices. However, things have turned around this year, with Bitcoin prices nearly doubling. What has contributed to this? Well, spot ETFs and an upcoming halving event have been catalysts for this exciting rise. Now you might ask, what exactly is a BTC halving? Well, it's when the reward for Bitcoin mining is cut in half, and it happens every 4 years. This policy was put in place to maintain scarcity and counteract inflation. The latest halving occurred on May 11th, 2020, and the next one is set to take place in 2024. Here's a tip for you. Historically, every halving event has led to a bull run for Bitcoin. However, it's important to note that this upward trend usually takes some time to fully materialize. So keep an eye out for potential gains in the future. Let's talk personal finance and how you can make your money work harder for you. In a rising interest rate environment, it's important to find savings accounts that offer great interest rates to help grow your savings. Traditionally, U.S. banks have been known for offering low interest rates, but the game is changing, and some are now stepping up their game by offering rates as high as 5%. One option to consider is the Western Alliance Bank Savings Account. With an impressive APY of up to 20% and no monthly fees, this account can be a rewarding choice. The minimum balance requirement is just $1, although note that they do not offer an ATM card. Another enticing option is the Newtek Bank Personal High Yield Savings Account. Offering a high interest rate of 5% and a ridiculously low minimum balance requirement of only $0. 01. This account also allows you to request an ATM card. Additionally, there are no monthly fees to worry about. If you're looking for a slightly lower APY but with no minimum balance or monthly fees, the Basque Interest Savings Account might be for you. This account offers a solid 85% APY, though keep in mind that it does not support ATM or checking accounts. Now here's your homework. Reach out to your bank and ask them what they can offer in terms of high yield savings. Don't let your hard-earned cash just sit there. Make sure it's earning and growing for you. Today's quote is an interesting one from Mason Cooley. He said, "Good advice is never as helpful as an interest-free loan." Now let's unpack this idea. On the surface, it might sound like Cooley is dismissing the value of advice when it comes to managing our finances. But let's dive a bit deeper. In a world where we're bombarded with advice from every direction, it's easy to see how Cooley's statement makes sense. Advice can be great, but it's not always what we need in the moment. Sometimes what we really need is a helping hand in the form of an interest-free loan. Think about it. When you're facing a financial emergency or trying to make a big purchase, advice alone may not solve the problem. You need practical support, like a loan with no interest, to help you get through. It's a tangible solution that can provide immediate relief and assistance. However, we shouldn't discount the importance of advice entirely. While it may not be as immediately impactful as a loan, good financial advice can help us make informed decisions, plan for the future, and avoid costly mistakes. It's a long-term investment in our financial well-being. So next time you find yourself in a financial bind, consider whether you need some good advice or an interest-free loan. Both can be valuable depending on the situation. And remember, financial decision-making is all about finding the right balance between practical assistance and sound guidance.
In today's episode, we covered a range of topics, including the rebound of cryptocurrencies, Gen Z's focus on quality of life, Q3 earnings reports from GM and Ford, MicroStrategy's profitable Bitcoin investment, high interest rates offered by U.S. banks, and the value of interest-free loans. Stay informed and empowered with our podcast. Thanks for tuning in to the Morning Download, your go-to podcast for personal finance, economics, and market insights in just 8 minutes a day. Don't forget to subscribe for more helpful content and sign up for our free newsletter at morningdownload.com/subscribe.